Senator Wyden.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Last year, Mr. Turk, wildfires hit Oregon like a wrecking ball. And just last month, a winter storm left thousands of Oregonians with no power. I have legislation to drive power companies to increase their efforts to make their utility lines more resistant to these major weather events by increasing activities like undergrounding power lines, reinforcing utility poles, and clearing away brush. This is important to do so that power companies can do more and these costs don't come at the expense of rural ratepayers. If you're confirmed, will you commit to work with me to move this legislation forward and make our power grid more resilient?
I think we've seen not only in Oregon and out west, we've seen in Texas, we've seen in other parts of the country, the importance of resilience of our grids. It's something that we need to work at. If I'm confirmed, I look forward to working with our terrific colleagues in the Department of Energy, the national labs with experience here, to do exactly as you suggest, Senator.
And one other question, if I might, with respect to clean energy jobs and technology, and both of them, and I've enjoyed talking with you, Mr. Turk, both grid resilience and clean energy jobs and technology is going to take bringing science-based decision-making back to the Department of Energy. I believe you're going to do that with Secretary Granholm, and that's why I'm going to be supporting your nomination. Now, in addition to grid resilience, we talked about clean energy and how it and climate change, addressing climate change, go hand in hand. And together, if you do them right, you create high skill, high wage, clean energy jobs. Now, the Department of Energy, with its research and vast array of technologies, is poised to not only lower emissions, but to mobilize a workforce as well. Tell us a little bit about how you would use these new technologies to create new clean energy jobs.
Well, thank you, Senator, and thank you for spending some time talking with me, not only on basketball, which is a passion we both share, but more generally.
Blazers won last night.
Good. Just a few thoughts responding to your questions. First, on science-based decision-making. I've worked in a variety of different jobs throughout my career, national security, energy, et cetera. And one thing from the International Energy Agency, my most recent, my current employer, it is a data-driven organization. The challenges that we face in the U.S. on energy, on climate change, are too important not to base our decision-making on solid facts, on solid data, on solid analysis. So I completely agree with that point. And then secondly, we are in the midst of a clean energy revolution. It's incredibly exciting to see the price points and where they've come on solar, on wind, on a range of clean energy technologies. We need a wide array of energy technologies, and the jobs associated with those clean energy technologies, if we're smart, and this is not going to be something that's easy or going to happen overnight, we're going to have to work at it day in and day out, but it's something I'm particularly eager for if I'm confirmed to be the Deputy Secretary of Energy.
Well, there are a variety of paths for getting there. As you know, and we talked about, there are 44 separate tax breaks for energy, and many of those breaks date back to yesteryear, and I've got an effort to collapse those 44 into 3. And so there are a variety of strategies we're going to want to work with you and Secretary Granholm on. I've got a little bit of time left, but I want to shift to another hat that I wear on the Intelligence Committee, and that is the need to address the challenge of cybersecurity. I think we saw it again, really just a matter of weeks ago, what some of the challenges are with countries who certainly do not always wish us well. So tell us, if you would, about some of your priorities. What are the couple of things you want to work on in the cybersecurity area right out of the gate?
Well, thank you, first of all, for your chairmanship of the Finance Committee, which is incredibly important on all sorts of issues, but especially on the tax incentives or others kinds of incentives that the Finance Committee has jurisdiction in. I know the 48C piece of legislation on manufacturing incentives was introduced recently by Chairman Manchin, Senator Stabenow. That's another exciting tool in the tool belt, if I could. Completely agree with you, Senator, on cybersecurity. It's a challenge for us today, and it's going to be an increasing challenge for us in the coming days, weeks, and months as well. It's an issue I've focused on in a variety of different previous experiences. I think it's something that we need to look by building grid resiliency in by design. This is something that there's a very important technology component to it, but it's a very important procedures and practice perspective, not only from the federal government, but working with private utilities, companies, so that everybody builds digital resilience in. There are going to be attacks. There are attacks on a daily basis, on an hourly basis to our grids. We've just got to get ahead of the curve as much as we possibly can. And the Department of Energy has some terrific capabilities, including in the national labs, to work with the Department of Homeland Security, the White House, and others to be a part of the solution here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.